I just connected with this really cool girl on Instagram, and a lot of what she's saying reminds me of me a year ago when I was afraid to even say that I'm building a business and just starting out. And we think very similarly. We're both yappers. We love to just talk and do long form and are kind of not into the short form. And also, we're people that didn't really post at all. Like 2 years ago, didn't comment on anything. I used to not even like people's stuff. I didn't post on my personal Instagram, always private, just didn't even have Instagram on my phone. And she was just saying how she doesn't have anybody to talk to this kind of stuff about, and I didn't either. And so I am going to send her some voice memos back, and I'm not going to share any personal information about her, but I just think that other people would want to hear a bit about me and my journey and content creation, all things, my perspective on algorithms, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. So I'm gonna just set this up to record, and then I'll edit some stuff out when okay. So I'm gonna try to forget this is here now. I truly believe that if you are showing up convicted, talking about something that you're passionate about, and are pulled towards sharing something online or sharing a message in general, and in this day, like, online is the best way to do it, I think, especially with video or podcasting or whatever. And if you have a desire to share a message, you should do it. And not really, I don't think you should worry about the algorithm like at all. On YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, I'm on them all, and I don't really think that much about the algorithm, and especially in the beginning. I think you should just practice putting in the reps like you have been, and do what energizes you and what is fun and what you're already naturally talking about. Like, all these voice memos that you're sending me, these are like so many good topics on that. And even the rambling and the ranting, that was me in most of my videos in the beginning, and sometimes even still. And I don't think that's a bad thing, or that you need to like shut that down right now, and maybe even ever. Like, you're going to get better over time, but I don't know, just not necessarily a bad thing. And okay, I need to really forget that you're here. One thing that I heard in the beginning that was really helpful is that the first year is just you finding your voice. And what does that mean? It means that you don't need to worry at all about the hooks or the traction or the algorithm or like messaging or anything. That stuff is going to come in time, but the foundation of consistency and learning how to just show up and figuring out what you actually like talking about, and then what people are starting to enjoy hearing about, and learning what value you have to provide, and like that's all going to happen over time and comes from you taking messy action. I'm like hiding from you. And so I'll share personally, I am such a yapper, and I love connecting with people, and I love learning, and I love growing and teaching. So I would learn all this cool stuff. I'm a super curious person and would try all these different things, learn all these different things, and I'd always want to tell somebody. And then I realized, like, oh, I want to tell 2 people or 3 people. So then I would call these people, or a voice memo, or send a podcast to like 5 people at certain points. And I've been doing that kind of my whole life, since I've had a phone probably. And then for some reason last year, I had the desire to start sharing that stuff online, because I feel like I was learning at such a rapid pace, and I didn't know who wanted to hear about what. Or like, I live in California, but I'm from Virginia, and I would go home to Virginia and I would just mention something in passing to somebody, and they would be interested in it, and I would have so much more to say about the topic, but like didn't have time to get into it. So I thought, wow, I should really share this stuff online, because there are like 10 people I want to share this with, and I bet if those 10 people would like it, then many more people would want to hear about this too. And honestly, then it's like people coming to me and they interact with what they want to interact with, and I'm not blasting my friends and family with stuff that they might not want to hear. So I basically started sharing on social media the stuff that I post to this day is the stuff that I used to voice memo and send pictures to my friends and stuff. Like even today I said, what's a daily win that you've had? This is something I've been texting my friends for 10 years. Like, what are your wins? What's your gratitude for the day? Whatever. So I've loved this stuff so that's where I started, and that's what keeps me going. Like, I always have hot takes, like me now. I don't know if this is a hot take, but I always have a lot of words to share about all these different topics that I'm passionate about as I grow myself. And so, yeah, I just started posting about it. And I'll share, so February is when I started, and I said, I'm starting a business. And then I posted on my personal Instagram, I said, I'm now a life coach, because I also realized I wanted one-on-one coaching. I wanted to offer that because I love getting to know people and their life stories and all this stuff. And then I also had a goal of make $10,000 a month, just kind of random, but because I wanted to make a business, I wanted to figure out business, because I feel like business is such a growth and spiritual journey. And I don't know if you were kind of alluding to this when you were saying how much growth you've noticed just by launching your business. Like, it just shines a mirror to you and your subconscious and the limiting beliefs that you have, and it's a really cool way to learn more about yourself and the value that you have to offer the world and all this stuff. So I wanted to build a business, and that involves putting something on the market and selling it. And so I just have 10,000 as like an arbitrary goal. But me not caring about the algorithm, posting whatever, like I text my friends on YouTube, whatever, I randomly get traction. I guess I'm not worried about the traction. I don't even think about it. Like, I'm a big metrics of success person. That's what I call them. Like, what are you evaluating based off of? And I am a big reps and numbers person, like quantity. So I had a goal of 1,000 Instagram posts and like 100 YouTube videos. I honestly don't even know what I'm at anymore. I haven't looked since like 500, but I'm not focused on the followers. I'm focused on my input and like what I can control and providing as much value as possible. Also, there was like 6 months or so before I started having sales calls with people for one-on-one coaching, and I was trying to sell it. And then what happened? First I was focused on like the money, and you would probably have something good to say about this, but then I saw this post that said, like, stop focusing on the money, focus on the value that you're providing people. And once I made that switch, I was like, because I don't really care either way, like, I'm just trying to grow, and I thought the money was the way to grow, like, if I just have my eyes set on this. But I started focusing on providing as much value as possible and really imagining, like, what do I want this to be like and feel like and all this stuff. Then now I have 5 clients on my roster, which is crazy, and I'm making money in the business, and I'm really, really enjoying it and loving every step of the way, honestly, and growing so much. Like, of course, there are times that I'm nervous or anxious because I'm growing, but it's been so fun. But yeah, stepping into, like, I legit have a business. Okay, and then, yeah, honestly, so my advice to you would be to be rambly, be messy, be cringy, be too much, talk for too long, use too many filler words, like, be rambly, like, whatever. You're just practicing sharing your message, and you're for sure going to get better over time. And as you learn more, you'll naturally, like, get better too. Like, for me, I started putting stuff on Instagram, and then I realized over time, like, oh, okay, like, it's not that short form is what I have to do or whatever, but I realized when I put things on Instagram, then I get to connect with people like you faster. Let's be honest. I get to connect with people like you, period, because I've only connected with one person on YouTube who applied to my coaching program. So once you learn different things like that, then you'll naturally start adding more of it in. So the reason that I post more on Instagram now is because I can have more interactions with people and connect with people faster than like one person in 8 months, whatever. And then also, then I started to learn, oh, if I talk about the problem, like first, I used to post about literally anything, every single thought that I had, and I still sometimes do that. Like yesterday, I posted something that's not directly related to my coaching. But I learned that if I post about problems that my clients have or that my ideal client has, then they're going to interact with that post, and then I get to connect with them. And then they're going to likely be somebody that I could help, or that I could add value to, or that we could just connect with and be friends with, or be acquaintances or whatever. Or maybe we live in the same city and end up being friends, whatever. But it would be somebody probably on my wavelength because of this connection point of I talked about like a problem that they've had and like a solution or some sort of value to help them in their life. And then once I did that, then I also realized like, oh, if you keep it under 3 minutes, then it will get pushed out to more people. That's just how Instagram works. So then that was more incentive to do that, because in the very beginning, and you can scroll back, like I keep everything there. I had videos that were 5-10 minutes long sometimes on Instagram, no captions, no, and it's so funny, I have a client now who is in a similar position of trying to show up more online and not hold himself back. And I was saying, like, remember, I always tell him, because people try to be so perfectionist and have it all, the edits and everything, day one, but it's a foundation you're allowed to build on, and you're allowed to start with, like, the super raw, unedited, not even touched once thing with no captions. And I said that once to him, and he was like, oh yeah, I remember. I clearly remember when you would just post things with nothing on them. But then you realize, okay, it's just like the game of how you try things and then you learn naturally, like, okay, if I have words on the screen, then that will make somebody stop who I could connect with. And then if I make it shorter, it'll go to more new people. And then if I do a hook, it might like call somebody out and catch them out of their scroll of like, this applies to you, and like you specifically would get value out of this. Like that's all that hooks are. And I'm in a really good business program right now, and I really think like the hooks and the styles and all this stuff, like sure there's a time and place for them, but I think it's down the line. And also it's not just like, you can't just say do this hook, do this hook, do this hook. You like, for me it's been way more helpful taking it slow and knowing the why behind them, but trial and error with myself of why, so that you have that strong, like, I don't know, you basically figure it out. Okay, I lost it, the last part. But for you, like, I didn't worry about hooks for 7 months, and I was still getting traction from it. And like for you too, I would think about like, what's your why? And it might be to provide value for like your ideal person. And guess what? That ideal person might find you 6 months from now. So start now, and your content's going to get better, and you'll have a backlog of stuff. And if you're impacting this one person who buys from you or whatever 6 months from now, then it doesn't actually matter if you get any follows, views, or likes now. And I'm sure that you will, because you're going to get some views, likes, and follows. It's only a matter of time. It might not be on the first video, and that's fine. Like, I'll still have videos on TikTok that do literally 0 views, but then it gets posted automatically on Facebook and gets 300. So another side note, don't measure the value of your posts or whatever by your by the likes, views, whatever, because it really depends on things. I don't know. I hope some of that helps. That is my rant and ramble of the morning. Yeah, provide as much value as possible. And something else that my coaches have done that I do too is you can give literally every single thing away for free and like still get clients, because information is not the problem these days. So you can literally just act like you're leading a workshop, coaching people, like whatever. Put it all out there, because there's still always going to be value in a one-on-one experience, on a workshop, in a community, in a course that you pay for. Because energetically, and I don't know if you talk about this with your money too, like energetically, when you put money into something, you're putting energy into it and like going to get more results. Also something about the relationship with the person and the investment of your time, energy, money, whatever. Basically, I'm trying to say, people will still buy from you, and there's no need to like gatekeep any information. So yeah, just providing as much value as you can online and in workshops and stuff. And I like where your head is at with that. By the way, I forgot to record this last message I sent right before it. And by the way, I'm talking about, like, just to be honest, my take and my approach and how I don't care about the algorithm, whatever. That being said, it's almost a year in, and I do make moves, and I'm always trying to grow and, like, be intentional with my messaging, learning about marketing and content strategy and stuff, and I'm kind of nerding out about that. But I think that if I learned it too soon, I would have, like, frozen and not done it at all. So it's, like, the balance of, like, taking on some growth and learning, but not so much that you stop yourself from posting at all. And I'm not saying, like, completely fuck the algorithm. Like, obviously, there's some truth to it. And, like, if you're getting 0 views, your messaging is not good, or, yeah, your hooks need to be better, or, and yeah, there's a place to work on rambling. But in the beginning, fuck that. No need. Ramble on. This is funny because you're only seeing half of the conversation. Man, what was I going to say? Dang, lost my train of thought. Hard to do both. Okay, how do I put this? Yeah, my goal last year was to make $100. Like, I didn't know how to make anything at all. Now I have clients at a decent, like, coaching, high ticket price, and that is only gonna go up from where it is now. And basically, I'm at the point where as I just get more experience with more clients and more leads and everything, like, the price is just gonna go up. And then by the end of this year, it's totally possible if I sign 5 clients a month or something like that, then I make $10K for like a 3-month program or 6-month program or whatever. It's, yeah. I think the hardest part is getting the first few, and then, yeah, and then it can really build from there once you kind of figure out how the game works. It's pretty fun. Like, yeah. And I'm full transparency, I'm not that close to 10K, but at the same time, I'm like really fucking close, because I don't know, business is crazy. Just the potential is insane. I forget if I already said this but I'm like not that close to 10K months yet, but at the same time, I'm like really fucking close. Like, it could literally happen next week, it could literally happen next month, or it could happen 6 months from now or a year from now. But like, my trajectory is like, yeah, I'm doing what I can do, and yeah, business is wild. Like, exponential growth is possible, and yeah, things can change on a dime and kind of go from 0 to 100. Like, once you get your systems down, I think, and you figure out how to add value. Like, if I help one person, then there's 10 more behind them, and that's kind of what I've been realizing. Like, I got 5 all at once more or less. It's definitely the age of courses and coaching and, yeah, providing value to the world in these kinds of ways. So I'm super excited for both of us and that we are on this journey. Okay, so my take on mentorship and like coaching, and you're saying if you knew somebody who had gone through what you wanted to go through, that you probably would have hired them. I didn't know there were any business coaches out there. I had a career coach at the time that I started this, because first I thought, do I just want to change jobs? And then, yeah, turned into me starting a business. And I have had 2 great business coaches now, kind of specifically for coaches. And I found them both by building in public, which brings me back to what we were originally talking about. You, like, posting all this stuff, posting about your course and what you do and everything, you will attract. And this is why I love building in public. And like I said, I love connecting with people. And when I thought about my ideal job, tangent, I read Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza a year ago. Yeah, I think a year ago. And I wrote down what I wanted my ideal job to be. And it was with like peers, mentors, and mentees. Like, I just love the collaboration of like all different kinds of people that you're working with and collaborating with. And when I am building online in public, I'm finding people who, I didn't know anyone who was doing anything similar to this, but now I have amazing mentors and peers and mentees and friends and stuff. Like, all to say, I found my business coaches, or they found me, because of my videos and because I was building in public and so open about what I was doing, and I was able to find opportunities that were amazing and kind of catapulted me to the next level. So if you need another reason to be posting and just being really real, authentic, whatever, you'll open your world to more people doing similar things to you. Because, yeah, I didn't know anybody, and now I am connected with people doing very similar things who are in my city, which is amazing. And, yeah, in a really, cool business program and stuff. So building in public is cool and attracts really cool people and opportunities. Kind of like me and you right now.